Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. 4 days left in the transfer window and it could all be about the Italian job. What a film, but what a set of transfers. Liverpool, Chiesa, Chelsea, Osimhen. These two deals, if they happen, could be massively impactful in the top four race and maybe even higher. So let's start off with Liverpool because they've not done any business this summer. Well, they're bringing this goalkeeper in, but Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the league, so I don't know what's going on there. But what they're also looking at is Chiesa from Juventus, still only 26. A massively exciting player. I mean, look, everything about what Liverpool have done over the last few years as a United fan makes me want to go, that's a mistake, that's a mistake. Zubimendi obviously fell through. I thought it would have been a really good signing for them. They've made others in the past few years. I think Jota was a good signing. Mane many years ago. Fabinho, McAllister last summer. They make good signings. And I think Chiesa is one of those that as a United fan, many other United fans, Arsenal fans would look at that and go, I wouldn't mind my club doing that. There is an element of risk. You know, the fact that Juventus don't want him. The fact that there's not a massive queue for him. But if the price is right, there's a lot of up and not a lot of down. Form and injury are the issue with Chiesa. But everybody knows who Chiesa is. You'll have seen him play for Italy. You'll have seen him in Serie A. He's a very, very good player. And there has been times, maybe 3 years ago, where he would have been linked to the Premier League for 60, 70, 80 million pounds. So Liverpool are methodical and Liverpool will do their homework. And if they look at Chiesa and they feel there is something that adds value to their squad, they will do this deal. And if Liverpool do it, I think it represents a question to other clubs who maybe could have looked at it, whether it be a Newcastle or a Tottenham or a Man United or even an Arsenal, that go, well, why didn't they do it? I'd love to see Chiesa in the Premier League. I don't know whether I'd love to see Chiesa tearing it up in the Premier League for Liverpool. I think that's a different thing. But interesting, get your comments in because I think this is one of those players that captures the imagination of not just Liverpool fans, but football fans. Because this will be a player that's probably been linked to your club at some point in the last 4 years if you're a top six club. And even if you're not a top six club, you'll be aware of who he is. Direct, got a good shot on him, can be creative as well. If he's fit and he's on form, offers something very different. But of course, he's not on a bench Salah either. So it might be a clever deal for Liverpool in the sense that squad depth is very important. He can play multiple positions, but he doesn't necessarily have to come in as this big signing that's going to start. And as we've seen with Man City, Bayern Munich, PSG, Real Madrid in recent years, it's not always about your first 11. It's about your 18. And Chiesa could certainly add something to Liverpool that I think when Diaz and Salah aren't available, do they have that type of flair player? I mean, Gakpo, yeah, but I see Gakpo a little bit differently. I think Jota's a little bit different as well. Chiesa is that pure flair winger that would add something to Liverpool's squad. So let's keep an eye on that. I mean, look, we said a couple of weeks ago that they were getting Zubimendi and it didn't happen. So, but I think Liverpool are assessing this. I'm not 100% sure it's going to happen because when Liverpool go for somebody, they do tend to do it. But I think you've got to analyse this deal a lot. And I think that's what Liverpool will be doing. And if they go for it, I'd be very excited about it if I was a Liverpool fan because, as I say, they'll have analysed everything and they'll obviously feel he can bring something to that squad. Conversely, just very quickly as well, we are here to talk about transfers. I saw today that there's some very interesting stuff gone out on in the bottom half of the table. We've seen Southampton, Ipswich be quite active. Nottingham Forest looking at Santi Jimenez from the Mexican striker from the Eredivisie. I'd love to see him in the Premier League. I don't know. He's one of those players where you just don't know what his level is because the Eredivisie is hard to read. But he'd be a very interesting player to bring into the Premier League. Also, Ward-Prowse could be leaving West Ham. There has been talk of somebody in the bottom half. I think Southampton are interested. I think Forest have been mentioned as well. But apparently he's not a part of Lopetegui's plans. Very underrated player. I thought he was fantastic for West Ham last year. And it just shows you how harsh football can be. We've seen this with Chelsea and Chalobah. Done nothing wrong, just isolated. Ward-Prowse, very good last year, isolated. It just shows you change your manager and suddenly you're out of favour. Let's talk about Chelsea, though. Osimhen would prefer a move to Chelsea over Saudi. I've said this. I'm going to have to just say it again. If Chelsea get Osimhen, it's the thing they've been missing for 2 years since Todd Boehly got involved with that football club. Billions spent, but no top-class striker. I believe Osimhen is fantastic. I'd have took him at Man United 2 years ago. I'd have took him last summer. I think Arsenal should be looking at him. I know he's had a bit of an off-season at Napoli last year, and I know there's been issues, but still ridiculously young. I mean, what is the age of Osimhen? I'm going to take a guess he's 25. I can't see him being any older than that. He's currently 25. So, yeah, I mean, he's 25. Like, he's not even in his prime. And I think he's one of the top 5 strikers in world football. I just think he's been a little bit slept on in the last sort of 12 months. If he goes to Chelsea hungry, I think he puts them into the top 4 race very firmly. So I've said that. Look, some Chelsea fans defend Jackson. That's fine. You're defending one of your own. As a rival fan, as an outsider looking in, I don't respect him. I don't think he's very good. But if you get Osimhen, it's not an anti-Chelsea thing. You get Osimhen, I'm like, okay, that's the real deal. It's not that I don't think... It's not just because Jackson plays for Chelsea I don't think he's very good. I just don't rate him, you know. I think he scores goals because he's capable of scoring goals, but he's also capable of low IQ decisions like being offside or missing a sitter. And I think, you know, Nicholas Jackson is not Erling Haaland. He is not Ollie Watkins. He is not Alexander Isak, and he's not Victor Osimhen, and he's not Robert Lewandowski, and I don't think he ever will be. And I think Chelsea... Jackson's your bench striker. Jackson's your rotation striker. You need what Chelsea have had in the past. You need Drogba's, you need Zola's, you need absolute top-end strikers. And that's what Victor Osimhen is. So I think if they get that deal done in the next few days, massive. Also, just a final thought. The Premier League at the moment, spend-wise, across this summer transfer window, is £800 million down on what it was a year ago. This is another issue in football. I don't like it. Do you like it? Get your comments in. We're diluting the enjoyment of football in this league. We are. And we will pay the price for it. We can't, you're not just going to be the best because it's the Premier League and it's live. Like, VAR has caused problems. There's multitude of other problems as well. Obviously, we've got a very dominant team that seems to be winning it every year. Promoted teams seem to be the ones that are favourite to get relegated every year now. But also, the transfer window is exciting. It's not exciting if one team's hoovering up all the talent, but we've never really had that. It's always been quite exciting looking at what Spurs are spending or Liverpool are spending, or £800 million reduction. That's about 30% reduction. It's massive. And it's because of PSR and FFP. We do need those things in place, but we probably should just loosen the belt a little bit because everybody wants to spend a little bit more and everybody can spend a bit more. Even if you just knock it up by 100 million or something like that. You know, we can't let the transfer window die because other leagues will catch up. Like, if these clubs have got money, let them spend it. You know, a lot of these point deductions are because clubs are breaking the rule, not because they don't have the money. You've got to have limitations, but not to the extent of diluting. You know, a reduction in spending by 800 million is ridiculous, in my opinion. Anyway, get your comments in below. What do you think about Chiesa? What do you think about Osimhen? What do you think about what I just said there? Smash a like, make sure you subscribe. And if you didn't check out the live podcast from yesterday, you can watch it on the channel in the Goldbridge Arms. What an episode that was. Take care. I'll speak to you all in a bit.